All right, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy New Year to everybody. 2025 is here. So fun. Everybody was like, "Are we going to do a patch party on the 1st of January?" Yes, of course we are. As if I didn't have this baby, then we definitely wouldn't be. But here I am, still pregnant and still patch partying it up. So I'm excited to do this and celebrate on the 1st with everybody. If you are new here and still popping in, please be sure to drop in the chat who invited you here. So who loved on you enough and reached out to you for you to just expand your consciousness tonight on the potential of healing that is possible for you and your well-being. So drop in the chat who invited you, even if you started patching, how long you've been patching. There's a lot of us on here. I want to get that chat moving. And also invite you that anytime throughout this entire time together, you are more than welcome to utilize the chat to share your testimonials from patching if you've been patching this far. Also to ask questions if you're brand new. There's no question that we've never heard before. I can promise you that, and we will get you an answer if we don't know the answer to that question. We have an incredible team here, those that are with us, and of course those that aren't with us tonight that are helping others to continue to patch. We have lots of access to information to get to you. So if you are in any way interested, feel free to drop in the chat. And then I will have, for sure, lots of time today to do a question and answer personally. So if you have any type of question about patching yourself, feel free to drop that in the chat or save it till the end, and we will have time together to patch. So thank you for all coming here tonight. It's so excited to be here and start this year off fresh. I am Dr. Kayla Abide. I'm located in the upstate of South Carolina. And while I am a doctor, I am not your doctor. And so this information tonight is not ever intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or serve as medical advice. I highly recommend you seek out those of you that you trust and look to for your sovereign health and autonomous well-being and health choices, and allow yourself to make the best choice with what you're doing with your health and vitality. We're simply here for educational purposes and to, like I say, blow your mind. So welcome to LifeWave. LifeWave was founded over 20 years ago by this incredible inventor and still the CEO, David Schmidt. So David Schmidt was contracted originally by the Navy SEALs to create some type of patented wellness product, I should say, to help enhance the vitality, well-being, and overall aspects of health and longevity in the Navy SEALs. We know they have a hard job, and so he got to the task. He created a patch called Energy Enhancer. So here we are. Fun little energy enhancer still exists today, and he was so successful at this that he continued to make more and more patented products. And so what happened in 2001, if you're familiar with what went on in the world of the US military, big shifts in trajectory of what their focus was. So when his contract ended, after creating that patch, he took his own patch and patented it and continued to develop a suite of light therapy or photo biomodulation patches. And thus far, over the last 20 years, he has over 150 patents now. There's over 90 clinical studies, and we are in over 100 countries that these patches are allowing people to heal with their own light. So it is a US-based company. There are manufacturing and labs in California, Utah, and also Ireland, because David Schmidt himself studied for over 10 years in a stem cell university specific to the National University of Ireland. So David Schmidt, if you ever have a chance to hear him speak, I encourage you go look on YouTube and listen to this brainiac, like mastermind, talk about all of his research and studies that he's done over the past several decades. And he doesn't just create technology for health and well-being. He also creates technology for humanity. He does ocean cleanups. He does lots of reusable, reliable, resourceful energy products. And he's also does a lot of drone technology as well. There we go. Let's let some more people in. All right, perfect. So why are we here tonight? We are here because of a patch, a little sticker, and I love when Sam's on here, the miracle stickers, the little miracle stickers, the little stickies that we wear on our skin. So what is this patch? Well, this patch is completely made of organic crystals that form a perfect lattice structure. So think of 3D structure. It is something that there's no ingredients, there are no side effects. It is a little sticker that you put on your body that utilizes your own light to self-heal. So your own light, what am I talking about? Well, I'm sure you've all seen number one, an X-ray, right? But we're going to move towards thermography. So thermography is when you see heat and light coming from your body and your well-being. And so you could see the heat and light of your own body being able to be reflected on that thermography scan. So when you see different colors, blue, red, green, yellow, we see that heat and light coming off our body. And when we take that heat and light and we capture it in this perfect crystal structure made of organic compounds, such as crystals, such as stabilized water, stabilized oxygen, it creates that mirrored structure. And that allows your own light to go back into your body. So let's take a side step real quick. What does this mean? Well, you all go outside, all of us go outside. I was outside today for like an hour and a half. It was so sunny and beautiful here in South Carolina, and my body was happily making vitamin D, synthesizing it via photobiomodulation, taking the skin or the sun, capturing it in my skin, and creating vitamin D in my body. And this doesn't work much different than that, except for you're utilizing your own light instead of the sun to create a biological nutrient or variant that your body wants to create for its own higher health and vitality. So, again, I've mentioned this before, the very beginning, and this is the whole reason why I'm here and I've been patching for over 16 months and why I've shared this with all of my practice members, all of my virtual clients, and literally anybody that I can tell because it's non-transdermal. And so this is a huge health shift paradigm than what we are typically used to and what we know as a society. And so we're used to putting things on our body that goes through our bloodstream or goes into our body and it's some type of ingredient. This does not have that. This is non-transdermal, meaning there's nothing going into the skin. And therefore, it's non-invasive. There's no drugs, there's no chemicals, there's no stimulants, there's no dosing necessary. Therefore, there's no side effects and there's no contraindications to anything we're putting in our body because this does not put a single thing into our body. It's simply like a mirror that allows our own light to do the healing for us. So it is a patented technology. And everybody always asks, what do you mean by patented? Patented means that the structure of what each of these patches has inside of it is a special, let's call it mirror or solar panel that reflects that light back into your body to enhance its overall vitality with whatever its priority is that it wants to. So what are we talking about with X39? I like to start with X39. Here we are, X39 patches. X39 has a patented structure that by utilizing your own light and capturing it in your body, your body can then produce GHK copper peptide. GHK copper peptide is the holy grail of healing. If you've never heard of it, go look it up. There's 33 plus pages on PubMed from the Western Eastern world of medicine looking at the power and the potential of what GHK copper peptide can do in our body. Now, there's a lot of that research that shows that other individuals are putting that copper peptide into our body through a transdermal source. This is where this is different because it's non-transdermal. We're not putting any GHK copper peptide into our body. There's no GHK copper peptide in this patch. It is simply capturing your light, and your own light is allowing your body to create whatever biological variant, in this case with X39, is the GHK copper peptide. So why is GHK so important? Well, here we are. So these are the benefits of GHK copper peptide from that cumulative research. So Dr. Loren Pickart was a medical doctor and researcher who discovered GHK copper peptide back in the 70s. And so you could read that whole left side, but essentially there's multiple benefits. So we have hair, skin, and nails. So we could tighten loose skin, thicken older skin, reduce fine lines and wrinkles, increase hair growth and thickness, accelerate wound healing, which we're going to see some really cool testimonials today with that as well. It also helps protect the lung fields and cellular turnover in healthy cells in the lungs, helping repair damaged cells, helping with pulmonary issues, as well as fast-growing cells. So if you know what I'm talking about, we don't want fast-growing cells. We want to be able to regulate, resolve, and heal and finish our healing phases with fast-growing cells. And so you can see the details that all entail that in the research aspect there. And then in the world that I work in, the brain and nervous system aspect, we see huge shifts as well as in this area, not just in the actual brain and nervous tissue itself, but mental well-being as well. So we're looking at, we could call any type of diagnosis, disease, condition, dis-ease, disharmony, whatever you want to call it. Our body wants to heal. Our body wants to be under less tension, have less oxidative stress, and to be able to be more cohesive and coherent, especially within our brain, nervous system, and all of our cells. And so we could see massive shifts happening when GHK is optimized in the body through anything from mental health aspects all the way down to damage in terms of our brain and nervous system function, whether it's from traumatic injury, long-term injury, overuse, you name it. The last two, antioxidant power. We all live in the world of we all want antioxidants. It is now elderberry season, right? So everybody's utilizing herbs and getting antioxidants and helping reduce their oxidative stress, blocking free radicals, all of the environmental stuff that we work in and come in contact with. But the most powerful thing about GHK copper in the research is its a potential and opportunity to actually activate stem cells. And that's really why I wanted to share this about with you today, is because our body, here comes some more people coming in. Let me let them in. And so our body has the ability to create new healthy cells and turn over cells. So when we are born, which we'll see, we all are all born with stem cells. They are blank cells. They're like blank pieces of paper, blank canvases that we could turn into any type of cell. And so our stem cells live with us for the rest of our life and allow us to heal during moments of intense healing, be able to create more cellular turnover and keep our organs and vitality flowing. But as we age, those cells start to decline in number. And so GH copper peptide, based off the research, can actually cause adult stem cells to start producing again, as well as produce more stem cells and reset stem cells to a younger, healthier state. So as we age, our stem cells actually start to decline. They start to get smaller, they start to lose water, they start to shrink. By the time we are about middle age, and I say middle age because most people think middle age is 60, but based off of our society's terms of longevity, middle age is about 35 to 40. So by the time you're about 35 to 40, you have about 50% of your stem cells left. By the time you are 65, you have less than 5%, between 1 and 5%. So when you look at health and vitality on a spectrum of how we have an opportunity to continue our longevity of healing, we start to see health decline in that middle age, typically around where we see stem cells declining. And so, when you are able to utilize and optimize the power of your own light to enhance the production internally of your body of GHK copper peptide, you are in turn enhancing your own stem cell production, which is huge because, like I've said, stem cells actually can turn into any type of cell. This is called pluripotent, so it's common scientific term. Pluripotent, what does it mean? It means that stem cells are not the only or are the only cells in your body that actually are changeable. So they are a blank canvas. They can change into whatever cell your body wants it to become in order to repair. And so when we are optimizing GHK in our body, we start the stem cell army in its marching fashion. So what does activating these stem cells actually do? So of course, they have the ability to turn into any type of cell, but that also means they have the ability to repair any important tissue that needs repaired in your body in the highest priority. So that means that, let's say it's your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, any vital organ that most commonly probably doesn't have motor or sensory components unless it's in a very deep, long-term conflicting healing phase. And so most of the time, I always tell everybody when we put on this miracle sticker, like Sam calls it, we put it on and it goes to the highest priority first. And so this is very health shifting in the health paradigm because we're taught we don't do anything with our bodies until it's broken or until we're expressing symptoms. But when we put this patch on our body, it has the potential to go to the highest priority issue first. And sometimes that issue is not, and I say issue, I don't like to call it an issue, but for the sake of this presentation, some type of disharmony, dis-ease, dysfunction, and wherever the body is needing repair first, it's going to go to. And that allows us to tap into optimum vitality and potential because that's the key component I believe we've been missing all along in the health paradigm. It's not about putting something from the outside in, band-aiding it and fixing it. It's about looking deep at what's going on and how the body has a higher intelligence and how it wants to heal. So the stem cells, of course, once they reach those higher priority tissues, then move to the places that you can feel. So I tell everybody, we have a list. We have the higher priority list here on the left, and we have our own list on the right. All of us women on this call probably want thicker hair, better looking skin, no fine lines and wrinkles, better digestion, not to be inflamed, to lose some water weight, right? We have all of these things. But we have this other list. And so how incredible is it? We don't need 1,000 solutions to fix both of our lists. We're able to take care of them in an optimal order with the higher intelligence and power of our healing body. So LifeWave's recommendation is for the basic support of your stem cell activity support, you need 1 month of stem cell support wearing this patch for every decade of life minimally. So I am in my mid 30s. I been patching for 16 months, and I will never ever stop because the potential and the optimum vitality is endless. I'm now 38 weeks pregnant in my third pregnancy, and these have been incredible. So different than even my two other pregnancies, which I considered easy and vital. This is a whole world, different world to tap into. And so I challenge everybody to patch for 1 year because 1 year everything can shift. And what better day to start patching than January 1st? Not because of resolution, but because next year at this point, your whole life, that list that you can't feel that has a higher importance, as well as the list that you can feel, can truly be optimized. And who doesn't want that? So let's look at what actually happens when we start wearing this patch. So within the first day of patching, right? Because we all want proof. Everybody wants proof, right? If you put a supplement in your body, you think, oh, I wonder how many IUs of that 10,000 IU vitamin C I got today. Probably not. We just constantly take 10,000 IUs of vitamin C or vitamin D or whatever we're taking. But when we think about this, what is it actually doing with our light, right? So our own light allows us to start turning over 3 to 4,000 new cells or genes being reset to a younger state after just wearing this for the first day. You multiply that times 4 weeks, we are creating a whole new entire army that can repair, regenerate, heal, and optimize tissue function overall as a whole. When you move into the world of 6 weeks, we have seen, and I will say, I always say this, but for those of you who are new and are watching this for the first time, we have one of our own, Dr. Tiffany, who did this own internal study in her own office with herself, which I think just proves the point of this as well. With her own brain scan technology, she saw after 4 weeks these things on her own self patching journey start to shift in terms of measurement of brain mapping and reducing and upregulating and downregulating overall brain function in terms of balance and homeostatic return. So we could see that we change overall active brain activity. We decrease multiple symptoms in terms of overactive brain. So we have enhanced memory, decreased depression, decreased anxiety, increased sleep, and so many more. Next, as we keep moving, and this is why I'm challenging you to a year, because in 3 months, right, I've had people notice in my own self within 5 to 9 to 12 to 15 days of wearing this patch, notice skin changes. But after a full year of skin changes, I actually during pregnancy have noticed scar tissue or stretch marks from previous pregnancies go away during this pregnancy, which is so wild to me. And so, again, I've been patching for 16 months, but 3 months in, we know collagen is optimally increased and helping repair all of the vital tissues in the body, which are so important: ligaments, skin, tendons, all of the areas that collagen is abundant in our repair process. Next, within 6 months is one of my favorite things to talk about, and this is looking at the cardiovascular system. So we're not just talking about repair and regeneration, we're talking about age reversing. So after 6 weeks of wearing the patch, the cardiovascular system acted 8 weeks younger. So if you do the math and the ratio, every day you wear the patch, your cardiovascular system acts a day and a third younger, which we've actually also seen if you have many people have Aura rings, they have sleep number beds, or they have some type of heart rate variability based technology. We've seen it on our own team of people we've been patching within the first 1 to 3 to 5 days or even 2 weeks. We've seen several years reduced in metabolic age. We've seen years reduced in terms of resistance and resiliency of mental health and well being, which of course presents with less anxiety, less mental instability, and more confidence in overall excitement and opportunity and vital function for life. So again, imagine if we did this for 12 months. And I always say you could do anything for 12 months and notice a change. But imagine if day one we're turning over 300 or 3,000 to 4,000 genes and we do that for 365 days. It's huge. So a lot of people over the past several months that I've been sharing this and doing this talk, they're familiar with stem cells because they've been paying tens of thousands of dollars to get them injected. And I will say, over the assessment of people in my own private practice and on my clients online that have paid this money, as well as those who I've heard from who've been patching, it's about a 50-50 split in terms of injecting stem cells if they're beneficial. They're very expensive, they're very painful, they don't have a long shelf life, they don't last for very long. You have to constantly be doing this and reinvesting. And There's no guaranteed results because we're working on an outside in approach, not an inside out approach. So we've taken several individuals in our own private practice who have stopped getting these expensive injections that only lasted them a few days to a few weeks and started replacing it with their own light of their own body, helping to produce GHK to enhance their stem cells. And they've had life-changing experiences for literally pennies on the dollar compared to what people are getting. And even those who have also gotten great results from these expensive stem cell outside in treatments have gotten more consistent, more regular experiences of health and vitality with pennies on the dollar compared to what they're investing in. So this is something that is becoming a household name. You don't have to save all of your money to be able to access this. Your own light allows you to do this, which I think is so powerful. And for me is why I'm so passionate, is because we have everything within us. We have it all within us to optimize this, and everybody should be tapping into this. So how do we wear it? It's super simple. You place it on your skin as it's dry, it's clean, there's no lotions or oils, it'll stick. You'll wear it for 12 hours, and then you take a 12-hour break from it. So you repeat this daily. X39 is a daily patch that you're going to wear. You want to make sure you drink enough water, you have enough mineral salt. So a good, nice salt to invest in, if you're a salt girl like me, is Baja Gold salt or Redmond's Real Salt. You can buy them on Amazon. You sprinkle it in your water. You put it under your tongue to taste. You salt your food to taste. It's a high mineral content, very low sodium, so it's going to help with mineralization to move the electrochemical gradient and cellular repair. Cells require water. Cells require salt. They require optimum experiences of vitality, or experiences of makeup of ingredients, if you will, in order to create the proper amount of biological variant. And my third one is you need dark chocolate, my friends, because dark chocolate, especially 70% or above, dark chocolate has the perfect amount of copper in it. So if you're able to intake a high amount of copper, you're going to produce a lot more copper peptide in your body for healing. So 3 steps with just putting on a sticker that takes you 10 seconds in the morning when you brush your teeth, and 10 seconds at night before you brush your teeth again to take it off, and then allow yourself to reset. Yes, we could all eat more chocolate. Please follow those instructions. If I take anything from this, I know I'm not providing any advice or medical advice, education, but I could definitely recommend more chocolate. So let's share some testimonials about this. This is Marcy. Marcy, 5 years ago now, 6 years ago now, at this point, for it's 2025, she was experiencing a massive health shift, a massive health crisis, if you will. She was experiencing fast growing cells in her breast tissue, and she was on the very end of giving, of having hope, but she was giving up. So she was receiving conventional treatment for those fast growing cells. And she had a friend of hers who came to her and said, just try some of these stickers, try these patches. I've seen great things, I've heard great things, just try them. That's all you have left, is to try them. And so she did try them. And you'll see, after she was gifted these 10 patches in September of 2019, day 1 and day 2, the taste of chemo metal came out detoxing from her mouth. On day 5, her skin and her hands became very soft. On day 10, emotionally, she went from thinking she was being stripped of life and moving into a transition phase to having some type of vitality enough to help her mind flow in an easeful direction. And you could see here in her shift and transition through optimal vitality and health and healing, she has shifted and she began to repair and regenerate and has fully reclaimed her life and lives such a vital optimum life. I adore Marcy. She is full of energy for life, and she is still living in that optimal state. So she's very passionate about sharing her story, and you could find it on YouTube. I highly recommend it. It's very moving. Just look up Marcy's story on LifeWave. You could find it on her Team Evolve channel of all of the people that she's helped shift into vitality over the last almost 6 years now. So next we have brain health. So we talked about thermography. These are these little thermography scans that I showed you. So we could actually see, based off the research too, what happens in the thermography scans when we start patching. So this is a 77-year-old woman. Session 1, of course, red is inflammatory, orange, blues, and greens are more cool. So you could see down here. Session 2, session 3, you see the brain inflammation decreasing, which when we decrease brain inflammation, what happens? Well, we can improve mental clarity, focus, cognitive brain function. And so when we're increasing this GHK copper peptide, it supports cellular nerve generation in terms of brain health. Then we look at the skin. This gentleman was actually going to cancel his interview for his new job because he had gotten to this car accident and didn't want to go. And he started patching from his mother, and look what happened. 3 days into it, was able to go to his job interview. And again, a lot of us are always self-conscious, self-aware of a lot of the scar tissue, a lot of the impurities in our skin, and this is a great way to optimize those as well. Here's another area where on a surgical scar, within just 2 months, a year's time, sorry, a year's time, we could see a massive shift in that scar just being reduced completely down to nothing. And then we also have age reversing in terms of skin, in terms of tension, tone, color, texture, and all of those aspects as well. So this woman, yes, that is for real her, and that is her entire 300 and almost 65-day journey of what her face looks like as well. Then next we have in the brain and nerve system world, these are my favorite to look at, looking and seeing how we could repair disc space as well as tension and tone underneath in the spinal cord area, and actually help generate tissue, which we don't usually see this. We usually see what this looks like with a lot of hardware in it in the after picture, not looking the after picture look better than the before picture. Next is wound healing. And so in the world of wound healing, we've had so many, like, I just say miraculous testimonials on our team of women and individuals and men and children too. I mean, we've had burns, we've had massive several inch abdominal wounds, we've had surgical scars, we've had fast growing cells removed from skin and zero scarring. It is just mind blowing of what our body can do when it has the right tools to do so with our own light. Next, we could see here tightening that skin again. So we see this woman's life completely has transformed in just a short amount of time, just a few months. Like, so this would be someone that probably followed instructions when someone said patch for a year and see what happens. It was probably completely blown away what happened in that time, and probably always they didn't start patching for skin. Most people don't start patching for skin. They just notice how the GHA copper peptide goes to the entire body, right? Highest priority first, and then some. We're able to activate and optimize health and vitality. This gentleman here, we could see this is a before and an after. So he did grow his hair back. His hair did go from white to gray, not from gray to white. And his skin texture changed as well as his color and his tone. And again, most people, I find that I've patched or patched under on practitioners on our team, they're not patching for their hair to regrow. Yes, we have some, but they're patching for long-term health, vitality, and healing. And they're noticing all these other things happening simultaneously as their body is able to rejuvenate, regenerate, and repair. This woman here, we could see her skin experience. So we're healing sun-damaged skin here and moving in towards the tighter, more toned, better textured looking skin. And of course, I'm sure in terms of not just looking, but feeling as well. And here we have someone with curvature who has reversed that curvature. And of course, that comes with more comfort, more ease, more vitality. And this is something that is an amazing story as well that I've seen time and time again of not just skin structures, but in terms of physiological structures of bones in the body. We don't want to be under tension. Our bodies don't want to be twisted. We don't want to be under stress. Our body, when it's given the proper tools and utilizing our own light, can reach peak vitality, especially those with, joints with low collagen, joints with low, bone on bone situations. I've seen it all. Next here, we have this wonderful woman who she has gone through radiation treatments. And so we start at June 6th, 2021, and we go from June 23rd to 2021. So we're literally 1 month's time, and we could see how her skin has shifted hugely. Like not just the skin itself from the wounds, but also too from the tone, from and the texture from this picture to this picture. I mean, who doesn't want to not just look that way, but imagine the feeling that comes with that as well. Next, I do want to touch on the athletic side of things because I think if you're a mover, meaning you move, you exercise in some type of way, you are an athlete. But what I also love to point out is how this energy enhancer patch actually, after he moved, David Schmidt moved from the military contract, he moved into the world of professional athletes and collegiate athletes. And so he took the energy enhancer patch and he started doing research at the University of Stanford on the swim team and then moved to Olympic swim teams. And they actually found that they were taking their record-breaking performance times and beating them in practice. And so this has put LifeWave on the map initially over 20 years ago, and you've probably seen even, subconsciously athletes all over the past few decades wear these patches, especially if you've watched the Olympics, Michael Phelps era, you've seen Mike Tyson fight, you see different individuals like RFK Junior, you see different individuals in the health and wellness field, in the fitness field, utilizing these for optimal vitality. And so they are, again, non-transdermal, there's no ingredients. So there's been a letter written officially passed by the Olympic anti-doping requirements with flying colors. There's nothing going into the skin. There's no way, shape, or form that any ingredient is going into the skin that's making your body do anything. It is the power of your own light. So I just want to take, I know we have a couple questions coming in. Um, I want to just go over the other optimal patches that round out the beauty of the LifeWave patching suite because X39 is extremely powerful. X39 is the patch that I want personally everybody wearing daily. It is the patch that is the foundation. It is the foundation of the home that we're building of health and vitality. The rest of these wonderful packs of patches, there are 10 other patches in the LifeWave suite that complement or support X39. And so when I give this analogy, it's like when we do build a house, we can just focus on the foundation and pour all of our time, energy, and effort into the foundation, but we know the body goes to the highest priority first, right? And so we might spend a year and lots of time, energy, and effort working on that foundation because we all are coming in at various health expressions, various levels, and what a colleague of mine, Dr. John Harmon, always says is you don't know what you don't have that the patch is working on. And that is the most profound thing because that's what we want. We want the foundation, but we have all these other patches that we could optimize to bring more vitality. So it's like, yes, we're building the foundation, but we're also building and bringing in the best quality drywall, the best quality framing, the best optimization, let's just say, for our digestive system, for our inflammation, for our brain, for our hormones, for our sleep, right? So we're able to build out a beautiful, robust experience of vital energy for you as you are healing those foundations in that order. And so I want to go over those with you today because they are also even more powerful when you combine these together. And that is my passion of sharing these patches, is not just throwing X39 on everybody, but getting everybody a customized protocol that is specific to their own vital energy function of building their own house. What do you want your house to look like? What has your house endured? What does it need support with? And that way we could build the foundation and support the building of the rest of the structures. So let's start with Eon. Eon is my second favorite. This is the one that we are going to utilize for inflammation. It melts away tension. It's equivalent to 30 cups of royal jelly. If you're familiar with royal jelly, it's what queen bees produce and makes them queen bees. So all my ladies on here, we want to be queen bees. It reduces brain inflammation. It allows our body to rest in the parasympathetic nervous system, reduces that mental health overreactivity. It's really great for focus, mental clarity. My kids adore this one. I know Dr. Tiffany's kids too, they always ask for an Eon patch before they go to sleep. It's one of my favorites to help just bring everything down. They call it the happy patch because it really does transform your mood as well as energy in terms of anxiety or depression or those mental health aspects as well. Next is X49. X49 is the sister peptide to GHK, which is AHK copper peptide. This is cardiovascular support. This is great for athletes. This is great for those who want improved bone density. This is great for blood. This is also great for those who want better metabolism, fat modulation, fat loss, and gaining endurance, gaining performance function. Also, just a great patch overall in terms of longevity as well, helping lengthen telomeres and helping improve our overall vitality. Next is carnosine. This supports not just the brain, not just the organs, but also the blood sugar as well as carnosine is an essential amino acid that we know removes aluminum for the brain. So it's great for nervous system, brain health. It's great for naturally detox for those neurocognitive aspects that we're looking at later in life. As well as we have glutathione, which most people know what glutathione is, but it's the master antioxidant, master immune system booster. Um, acid detoxifier in the system. So your liver is what produces glutathione. It's great for healing. It's great for optimization of cellular turnover, for stem cell turnover. It is just has a ton of benefits for peak vitality. Next, we have Alavita. So we have an Alavita patch, which is for the epithalamin peptide, which is not just hair, skin, and nails, but internal. So think gut lining, think reduction of cortisol, think hormones, think circadian rhythms, think focus, mental clarity. So those with all of those, like 3 and 4 letter terms that start with an A that keep us from doing our focus and high optimum potential of our brain status. This is a great one to clear that memory fog, to help bring our systems down to regulation. This is one that is best worn at nighttime so that you can help reset those circadian rhythms as well. And it also comes with an Alavita system. So the Alavita system together is the patch. The patch is non-transdermal. The Alavita system, if you are an eye cream girly, a day cream, a night cream girly, and you're just tired of spending hundreds of dollars on skincare products, throw them out the window and get the whole system. I have used for about 14 months of the past 16 months, I only used the Alavita patch. I never got and stayed consistent with the Alavita system. I'm just like a water-faced girly. I don't do a lot of skincare products other than just like natural things that I utilize in terms of just like tallow and those types of things. I don't buy expensive products. And so I got the Alavita system during pregnancy and it has been huge. Optimizing the patch. I've seen huge skin changes just with the patch over the past 16 months wearing it at night. But adding in the Alavita system, the eye cream, the day cream, the night cream, has been huge, especially the third trimester of my pregnancy, when we know our skin really gets stretched behind the means of which, we ever think it could. So I highly recommend looking into the Alavita system as well. Last couple here. So SP6 is the hormone patch or the food craving patch that helps regulate intake of proper nutrients. So some people utilize it for weight loss, but I always like to share that if you're eating crappy foods, it'll reduce your cravings. But if you're not eating enough protein and enough high nutrient real food, it'll actually help upregulate that as well. We utilize this for women in peri, post-menopause, any type of fertility aspect. I've utilized this for. It's great for thyroid, kidney, adrenals, pancreas, liver, intestines. It's just overall autonomic nervous system organ function. Then we have Silent Nights. So Silent Nights is the sleep patch. This one can help optimize your own production of melatonin and serotonin. It's also great for those who do have thyroid imbalances and cardiovascular imbalances because it helps restore that natural circadian rhythm as well. Then we have the Energy Enhancer patch, like I've been talking about, the first patch. This one is a catch-all. It's a magical patch. It is when we say energy, most people affix energy drinks or they think of like caffeine. It's none of those. It is a grounding energy. So older individuals can actually wear these and they could have better balance and coordination. It's grounding them, it's anchoring, it works off of polarity. Then we also have the benefit of acid reflux or nausea. It's comparable to a red cold laser. It also, all of my pressure friends that are very well first in Chinese medicine, it actually moves the lymphatic system. It moves all of the qi energy throughout the body, clearing those blockages. It's great for respiratory things. It'll clear out phlegm, congestion in the lung fields. It is a wonderful kind of just multi-catch-all patch to wear. And of course, it does provide longevity of energy. It works off of ATP production, so it ignites the mitochondrial function. So it's not a stimulant. You're not going to be stimulated with energy. You're not going to have to come down from it. I wear it often, quite sometimes during my long days of work, where I put it on. I have a slow burn of energy, and then I take it off and I can go right to sleep. Last, we have IceWave. So IceWave is one of the most popular patches that I think get most people introduced to LifeWave overall, is because it is a fast-acting, non-addictive, stimulant-free, drug-free pain patch. So it works off of polarities, just like Energy Enhancer. There's 2 patches that you wear at a time, like a plus and a minus if you're thinking about magnets, a left and a right if you're thinking about poles. This will actually pain gate pain within 3 to 5 minutes, reduced most of the time down from like an 8 to a 2, if not completely gone. And you could wear these patches actually for 24 hours. So most people that I've patched, other practitioners have patched with chronic pain of 10, 15 years, fibromyalgia, all of the things like extreme pain points reduced down to pretty much nothing within minutes. You just have to find the right polarity spot. So it does take a little bit of skill to learn your body and communicate with it, but we could find it. It is super easy. And once you do 24 hours pain-free, while wearing X39 gives you the opportunity to heal, regenerate, repair at a pain-free state. So it's a great combo. Last is the AccuLife. AccuLife is marketed to animals. I, as an animal chiropractor and a person who has 7 animals in my household, utilize all the patches on all of my animals. You don't have to use AccuLife. AccuLife is the same patch as IceWave. You can use IceWave on an animal. It's the same patch. Doesn't matter if it's a 2,500-pound horse or it's a 25-pound dog. All of the patches are the same. This is just marketed to the veterinary population. Awesome. Got through it. I'm going to go through the chat now. I would love to invite everybody, if you heard something here today that just stuck out to you, you read something in the testimonials in the comments that you were like, yes, I need to know more. This is going to be the time. We're going to open up the chat to ask questions. Once I scroll up and get everybody's questions answered one by one, we'll open up the mic. But I want to invite you to go back to the person that sent you here, because they genuinely loved and cared about you enough to say, you need this in your life and you need peak vitality and optimum potential. And I'm in full agreement with that, even though I don't directly know you. So reach out to them so that they can help you, so that you can get tuned into this. Like, these can literally ship to your door in 2 days. Like, you could plug yourself into peak vitality in 2 days' time. So let's go back to my first question that I saw. Yes, perfect. Yeah, water, Baja Gold salt, or Redmond's real salt on Amazon. Dark chocolate. The third was water. Thank you, Dr. Ashley. Yes, I personally wore these while I was pregnant. I started wearing them well before I was pregnant as well. I will say, disclaimer, LifeWave does not personally recommend to wear them on pregnant women, nursing women, or children, because there's no research in those populations, right? We can't suggest anything that there's no research in, and there won't ever be research in those populations because it's not, I don't know, ethical. And so I always say, make your own best personal decision. Essentially, my own personal decision was made from the following. It's non-transdermal. It's equivalent to photobiomodulation of going to the sun. And I love the sun. I was just outside today in 50-degree sun with my shirt up and my belly hanging out, and baby was loving the sun. So for me, it was a no-brainer. But I invite you to make your own decisions, and invite those that are pregnant to make their own decisions. I will continue wearing them, breastfeeding. I have an entire protocol set out for my postpartum journey here, whenever that happens. And my children have worn them. And I've had practice members in my practice whose parents of, children and young children have utilized them and chosen to optimize their vital energy in cases of, I'll say, their diagnoses of various neurological, neurosensory, neuroatypical experiences with great results. So do your research, do your due diligence, and make your own conscious decisions. Does anything happen if you leave it on the 39 extra time for over 12 hours? Yes. So Naomi, since it works off of your own light and its photobiomodulation, there's a word called attenuation. So basically, I like to just give a simple example of, if you go out into the sun for too long, you will get burned, right? Simple aspect. Not that the patches are going to burn you. There's no ingredients in them, but your body is only going to work so much. Just like if you go out into the sun for 4 hours versus 25 minutes, you're not going to keep producing vitamin D. Your body has a cap. Essentially, it's attenuated. Once it's been able to express what it needs, it's going to turn off and not produce it. So the patches do have a 24-hour activation life. You can only utilize 12 hours from their clinical research, is when your body starts to be attenuated and, let's just say, quote unquote, fully powered, right? Then you need 12 hours off to be able to utilize that energy source to produce nutrients. So it's like a sleep-wake cycle as well. Yes, I also love Marcy. She's so sweet. And thank you, Tiffany, for answering that. Oh, you answered another one too. Let's see. Who else has questions? Okay, varicose veins. Yes, Sam, I'm glad you asked this question. I've actually patched a lot of people in my practice for this. So typically for varicose veins, X39, X49 because of the blood vessels, Alavita at night because Alavita is also great for blood, and carnosine because carnosine is an essential amino acid for muscle, nervous system, um, you know, full like cellular turnover, regeneration of skeletal muscle as well.
Can I
I've
ask
actually,
really fast, do you
yeah,
put them where the varicose vein is, or do you put them like just like where it's recommended according to like the charts?
we've done both.
Okay.
And I don't see there's much. I mean, we've had individuals in my office who've had really extensive varicose veins from just being on their feet all day long, who have started with overall general patching recommendations, those sites. and then have moved to, as we shift through various ones, patching them on there. So like a carnosine or an X49 on there. But typically X49 and Alavita are always general spots, even X49 in the beginning too. We've tried a bunch of different things. I've also gotten some varicose veins through the end of pregnancy that actually started putting the Alavita Trio on as well. And I'm in the middle of a little trial right now. I have some really cool pictures of it changing. But I've been wearing my whole pregnancy X39, X49, Eon, Alavita. And so when I added that specifically on those areas, I even saw more change. And now the Alavita Regenerating Trio does have GHK copper peptide in it, which is why I opted to put that skin on transferable aspect because that was just something that I wanted to try to see how it happened. But explore with it yourself. Everybody's different. Da-da-da. I wish my thing would scroll faster. Thanks, Tessa, for coming, even though you're probably gone already. Let's see. Oh, yes, Dr. Ashley just started night cream. Sam said I've been able to get off my thyroid medication since using SB6. Get out! Okay, so we're going to pause and you're going to tell us all about it. Go ahead.
Okay, so about a year and a half ago, I left, well, about 2 years ago, I left my like traditional medical world of like receiving help because I wasn't getting any help, and I have hypothyroidism and PCOS, along with like I had early signs of heart disease and like things like that. And at the time I was only like 26, 27 when all of this happened. So way too young to be dealing with all of this. And then fast forward now, it's been 2 years of taking 90 milligrams of NLP thyroid medication that my functional medicine doctor had recommended to me. And since using X39 and SP6 for like about 2 months now, like just under 2 months, my blood work has come back balanced, and I was able to get off of my thyroid medication. I still take a really small amount of metformin for my PCOS, but yeah, I'm down to like the stickers, the miracle magic stickers. My metformin and like two supplements when I was taking like 15 supplements and like 2 to 3 medications every day. So it's been a huge, huge game changer.
Yes, and I know you've seen, yeah, Dr. Ashley, who's a functional medicine doctor, said that never happens. And so I want you to also share, because when we first met, when you started patching, you were so concerned about the water weight. And so you've also
Yeah.
had a huge shift in that too, which, I mean, of course, comes with that physiologically, but some people don't recognize that that's also a part of that. So if you want to add in that part as well, is I'm also celebrating that for you.
Yay, thank you so much. Yeah, if anybody like wants my before and after photos, I will send them I'll just post them in the our giant group chat. But PCOS causes a lot of water retention and like weird things. And then coupled with the hypothyroidism, I was just like chronically swollen, like just swollen all the time. Like you could tap my belly and like watch the ripples beneath my skin. And then I also did not have a jawline for like 2 years. And literally in the first month, I lost like 4 pounds that I think was literally just water weight. And my jawline has come back. I'm actually a little swollen today, but I think that's just because of holiday stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know. I have no explanation except for the fact that I have changed literally nothing. I have not changed my diet. I have not stopped eating sweets. I haven't gone to the gym more. I don't sleep more or less than I used to. I am still working. Like, I've literally just put the stickers on my body and I'm shrinking and my skin is getting better and the water weight is going away. It's crazy. So cannot recommend enough. 10 out of 10.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. It's been, I mean, I can't believe it's been that as many weeks as it has since we
Yeah.
first talked, but wow, that's incredible. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Thank you.
Any
Yeah, I think I started patching on November 13th and
cool.
it's the first. So
Wow.
cool.
Wild. Thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody have any questions or
You muted yourself.
oops. I said that, did you want to say something? I saw you pop in.
Yeah, so I actually pulled up my Canva where I have two of those pictures of the scans that I did
Oh
to
yeah.
show the before and after. Um,
I want to make you co-host so you could share.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not seeing where, oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. All right. So this is the first part here. So one of the parts of the brain scans that it shows is different brain waves, and different brain waves cause different things to happen in the body. So these two here, the theta and the beta. The theta is a relaxing, calming brainwave that's supposed to be high whenever you're sleeping to allow you to have proper recovery during your sleep. So that typically should be at around 20% whenever it's the healthy level there. And I started at 15.16%, and within a month of patching and changing nothing else too, my theta went up 16.32%. And then on the other side of things, the beta, so the theta and beta are kind of like yin and yang, and they're supposed to keep each other in balance and in check. But what happens a lot for a lot of people is the beta is a lot higher than what it should be, and the theta is a lot lower than what it should be. And that beta brainwave is that busy brain, high alert, stress brainwave. People with anxiety tend to have a really high beta brainwave. And when that beta brainwave is too high, it basically just controls everything going on in the brain, and none of the other brainwaves have the ability to do their job. So my beta was at 37.4, and then within a month it dropped down to 35.4. And again, normal is around that 30%. So that was a really cool shift to see just within 4 weeks of patching, because like it says on the chart, like it usually takes about 6 weeks to notice changes within the brain balance, but I was already seeing it within 4 weeks of just patching that way. And then the other nice one was my heart rate average. So within a month, my heart rate average went from 87 all the way down to 73. And my heart palpitations went away just within the first couple of days. So that was a big one that I was really excited about, to see that heart change happen. And you can see on the chart here, so each of these colored lines here shows a different type of stress that we put the body through. So like this is a cognitive stress for green, blue is emotion, pink is physical. So you can see up here, like every single stress and recovery, I was above 80. And then down here now, for every single type of stress and every single recovery, I am below 80 and closer to that 70 mark there. So just two little things there, that is just really cool to see from an internal perspective and a data perspective, to be able to see things changing. It was really exciting.
Yes, and it wasn't just the heart palpitations. Share a little bit of the physiological aspect that you noticed and what symptoms or that went away,
Yes.
what changed
So
you.
another part of the scan that it showed that I didn't include here, because it's kind of confusing to see if you don't understand the background of the scan. But the whenever we are talking about the nervous system, we have a sympathetic part, which is that fight or flight stress response, and then we have parasympathetic, which is where all the healing and recovery happen. So just like you can see on here how each one shows a different type of stress, on the HRV section, which is the heart rate variability, which gives insight into how your autonomic nervous system is handling stress and recovering from stress. My before scan showed that every time I was having a physical stress, my recovery was not, it was non-existent. I was basically working out and stressing myself out so much. I was physically exhausted. I would be physically exhausted for the next 2 days after trying to work out. And in my mind, before doing the scans, I was just like, man, I'm really out of shape. I need to just keep pushing through and keep pushing through. When in reality, my body was not shifting into that parasympathetic healing mode after working out. So if I would just keep pushing myself through, that was going to do more and more damage to my body, because my nervous system did not have the ability to shift into that healing mode after a physical stress. And after patching for a month, that completely shifted and changed for me. And my nervous system was actually able to shift into that recovery mode after doing a physical stress. So that was another cool thing. Um, Hormone balance was a big one for me. My cycles used to be like 5 and 6 months apart, and now they are back to like every 4 to 5 weeks I am getting them. The heaviness of it is drastically reduced. So that's a huge benefit too. So many other things for my kids, like my 4-year-old, like you mentioned, his favorite is the Eon patch. But I shared with Kayla too, it was really cool because I'm starting to just ask him every night which patch it is that he wants to wear. And you would be amazed at how smart the body is, because I just started asking him, okay, what color? Because the patches are all different colors in the sleeves. And typically every night he says, I want a blue patch tonight. I want a blue patch. And this specific day, he had been coughing all day long. And he went to say, I need a patch. I want a blue one. And then he goes, oh, no, actually, I want gold today. And gold is the glutathione that helps boost your immune system and boost your antioxidants. And in the past, whenever I've had a cough, I've put that on my chest and it has drastically reduced the cough and helped significantly. So that's just a really cute thing that I was able to experience with my 4-year-old too, of like his innate intelligence, just knowing what patch he needed for the night.
You want to tell Dr. Ashley about your brain scan that you used?
Oh yes, the brain scan is called a neuroinfinity. I'm going to stop the share here real quick so that I can. Yes, it's called a neuroinfinity. And I actually have on my team the person who does all of the training for the neuroinfinity. So I could put you directly in touch with her if you would like to learn more about that too. But it's a really cool system. You just hook up a bunch of electrodes. It takes about 12 minutes to do. But it's really in depth to where you're able to see the cognitive stress, the emotional stress, and the physical stress, and how it corresponds with your HRV, your skin conductance, skin temperature, brain balance, so many different parts to the scan.
Yay. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yes.
Anybody else have any questions? I know we have a couple of new folks on here. Tracy, Caitlin, Jessica, who else? Natalie, Andrea. Anybody else have any questions? You could pop them in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself. You don't have to put on video.
Kayla, I just wanted to ask, I did ask
Yeah.
it in the chat. Dayla had to hop off, but she just
Mhm.
texted me asking specifically about hyperthyroidism. And I
Mhm.
think Sam's story speaks to that a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, curious if you have anything else to add on that.
Yeah, so I have had several individuals working a lot with virtual as well as in practice individuals, various regulations, upregulation, downregulation of the thyroid process. So I've had, I think, 4 individuals thus far over the past almost year that have went back and made the choice with their practitioner, their primary care physician, to take themselves off of medication and wean down, or whatever that process looks like between them and their health provider. And some of them have been on thyroid medication for years. And one of them actually doesn't even have a thyroid, which still blows my mind. But the body's intelligent and wise, and it just allows us to tap into even more potential. And so, I mean, I work with a lot of women in terms of fertility restoration, a lot of couples in terms of fertility restoration. We're not treating anything with the patches, and I think that's something I say every day, is it's not that if we're hyper or hypothyroid or we have PCOS, we're not treating anything. We're just giving the body more vitality to be able, and more tools and resources and ingredients, if you will, to utilize a recipe, I should say, to the ingredients our body can create to enhance whatever healing journey on that higher priority list that our body wants to go through. So for someone like Sam, that thyroid process was really high on her priority list of healing. The ones that have taken a little bit longer, I've seen like the longest, probably like 6 to 10 months. But that individual has had a lot of health crisis, a lot of resolution that needed to happen in a lot of different places. So that's why I challenge everybody to the 1 year, because just if you don't see it in the first few weeks doesn't mean it's not possible. We see so many things that some people put on a patch and everything goes away in a matter of days. Typically, I like to say 80, or the LifeWave says about 80% of people notice something within that first like 1 to 2 month range. The other 20%, we have to look at what their higher priority lists are. And that's why I challenge everybody to the year. But if they don't want to do the year, then I challenge them at least to LifeWave's recommendation of 1 month per every decade that they are old for minimum stem cell activation of their own peak vitality utilizing their light, because that's going to be that kind of like threshold where you're going to see that higher importance level of innate intelligence take over, and then allowing your body to do what's on your list or the extra things that maybe need to be tended to after that. So yeah, I think Sam's story is incredible to share with her, but we also can connect us and we'd be happy to chat with her as well, Cheyenne. Happy New Year, Dr. Ashley. If anybody doesn't have any questions, we will finish up, but I want to invite you, lastly, connect back with the person who invited you here. They could get you in touch with me. They can get you those questions that you have answered if you don't feel comfortable asking them in this environment, or you want a more personalized approach, a customized, regimen protocol to your optimum health and vitality goals. We're here to help you. But if anybody doesn't have anything else last minute, anybody? Anybody? Cool. Awesome. Well, we'll be off for now. I'll post this recording later, but you guys have a great night and Happy New Year.